write Arduino IDE, you will get Arduino.cc software. In that you will find Arduino IDE. Just click on that. You will get into the page where you can download the latest version of Arduino IDE. So right now the Arduino IDE which is available is 1.8.12. This particular IDE has compatibility with many operating system. With the Windows you can download, with the Mac you can download, or with the Linux operating system you can download the Arduino IDE. Once you download the Arduino IDE, this once you download it, when you install it, once you open it, it will look like this. Okay. So whenever you open a new file, the new file will look like this. Right. So this is a Arduino IDE where we have to write the program, and that particular program will put into the microcontroller. Okay. Now let's see and try to understand that how we'll write the program in this IDE, which is available for writing the codes and all for the board. So you can see here we have many menus. One is the Arduino menu. Then we have the file. With the file, we can open the different file examples. We can open it, right? The edit is there. Edit for the editing of this particular screen. But the important is sketch and tools. Okay. So let's go these two menu one by one and try to understand what are these two. So the first is the sketch. Inside the sketch, you can have one option which is verify or compile. So whatever code you write here, you can compile it or you can verify the code. Then second is upload. So you can upload the code into the board with the help of upload. Upload using program, export compiled binary. These two we do not use frequently. The main thing that we'll use here is the include library. Okay. So as you know that every hardware is associated with some sort of software. Okay, which is called device drivers. So any device, if I want to connect with the system, so I should have the supportive software of that particular hardware. So if I have any type of sensors available, and if I am putting those sensor into this particular system, so I should have to include the library of that particular hardware. For some of the hardware, already they have the list of libraries. So you can see that if we'll go to the manage library part, or if you can see all those. So we have different devices which software part is already there, or the library is already there. Okay. If you want to include any libraries, so you can go to the manage library, and in the manage library, once you go it will do the indexing of all the libraries that you have related to the hardwares. So generally we need the library for the sensors. Generally for the sensors will do it. So it will just update the list of installed libraries. After that, if you want, you can search here other libraries. So if you want, you can search here different libraries of different sensors. Let's say I want to find out the software or the library for the humidity and temperature sensor. So I can write here DHT and I can search for that. So Yeah, so it will take me different options. This is the DHT sensor library. This is the DHT sensor for ESPX, DHT12, DHT sensor library. So you can see that it is giving me different library options. So based on my hardware, I can choose which particular library I have to install. Okay, so that's why library is very much essential. Now, let's go to the tool tab. Tool is very much important in terms of board. Now here, the main thing that we have to see here is the board. Now we have many board option. As I told you, we have number of boards available. You can see the list of the board. We are using Adreno, Adreno N. Adreno has many options. As I told you, mini, micro, right? We have many options of Adreno. Then we have different other microcontrollers are there. Then here we have list of microcontrollers that we can have. If you want to uh, get more microcontroller, so you can go to the board manager, and in that you can search for your microcontroller that you are using, and you can install the library for that. So as I told you, every hardware, every microcontroller that will use the supportive library, we have to install into the IDE. So here we have already Arduino Uno, which we are using. We'll just select it. So it has already been selected here. And then the second one is a port. Port is very much is required when we want to upload the program into the board. So we have to see that where in which particular USB port we have included the board, or we have connected the board. So which USB board? Because in your laptop or in your desktop, there are many USB ports, right? So here, once you will connect it, it will give you the option that which particular USB port is you choose to upload the program, right? So that is very much essential for that. Get board information. Here you will get the board information and all those things. Okay. Now let's come to the program. In the Arduino program, every program that will write that has the extension of .ino, like a last three word of Arduino, right? .ino. So Arduino has AR DUINO, right? So .ino is the extension of every program that will write here. Second thing, every program has two functions. As you can see, whenever we write a new program, it will give me this particular format. And in this particular template or in this particular format, you can find it out that we have two function option. One function is called setup function, another function is called loop function. Now, what is the significance of these two functions? In the setup function, we'll write those code which will run once in a lifetime of the board. So let's say if we have put one new program, so whatever we write inside the setup function will run once and at the very beginning. And generally we'll put the code which is like if you want to set up the pin, or if you want to set up the variable, if you want to set up the sensor pin, all those things if you are doing it, then you put those code into the setup function. Okay, the second one is the loop function. In the loop function, we'll put those code which has to run infinite time. So there is no while loop or for loop. There is just the loop function will use. This loop function is going to work for a infinite period of time. Let's say we want to create a fire detection system, right? So what I'll do is I'll use the microcontroller, I'll use the fire sensor or the temperature sensor, which will, or the smoke sensor, which will tell me the existence of the fire in the room. So for that, the program, whatever we'll put into the board, should run infinite, right? It should never be stopped. Yes or no? So if you have this fire sensor available or the fire detection environment available with you, and somehow if you are not using the loop, so what will happen is your program is running for some time, then will not be run for some time. But if you are putting into the loop, so it will run all the time. So if it is running all the time, definitely whenever it will trigger or it will detect the fire, it will create the alarm. So that's why the loop is for that. So whatever code we want that it should run for a longer period of time, so we'll use it. Okay. So we have set of function, we have loop function. Here there is some buttons that will apply, and all these buttons are very much useful. So the first button here in this particular, you can see here this right symbol we have is the verify button, and then we have the upload button. Okay. So the verify button and the upload button is very much useful here, right? Let's try to write some codes and try to understand this particular that particular code, and try to understand that how it works. Okay. So we have this program related to the ultrasonic sensor. Okay. Now here you can see we have some variables, or we have some pins that is there. So the first variable is trigger pin. For the trigger pin, we have a pin which is number 9. Now let's go to the board and try to understand what is the meaning of that trigger pin. Okay. If you see here, there is the number of the pins, right? This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we have done is this 9 number pin we have kept as a trigger pin. So why we need trigger pin? As we have seen in the ultrasonic sensors, as actually how many pins? We have 4 pins, right? So ultrasonic sensor has 4 pins, and all those pins are, the first pin is the voltage pin, last pin is the ground pin, and then we have trigger and echo pin. So we have to set up the pin actually. We have to set up the pin actually. Okay. So that's why we are taking 2 pins actually here in the program. So the first one is the trigger pin, which we have kept as a ninth number pin, and there is an echo pin which we have kept as a pin number 10. Done. So these 2 line is clear to I think is very simple. Then as I told you, we have 2 loops. The 2 function. One function is the setup function. Another function is the loop function. Now, what are these 2 functions? The first function is the setup function. As I told you, in the setup function, we'll write those code which will be running only once. Then we have the loop function, and this particular loop function is going to run forever till you disconnect it, or till you do not give the power to it. If you don't give the power, definitely it is not going to run. Once you give the power, so the setup is going to run and then loop is going to run, because this program will, we compile it and will put the program into the device. And in the device, as I told you, we have the special type of microcontroller which will convert the high level language to the assembly code in which these the low level language, so that this hardware can understand. So the code will be converted here, and the significance of loop is there. Let's see the first function and try to understand what is written in the first function. So in the first function, it is written serial.begin, and the number is there 9600. Okay. Now let's see what is that. Here we have a serial monitor. If you see here in the right side corner, there is a serial monitor. Once I'll click it, one monitor will be open. Okay, so when it will be open, so this, what is that serial monitor? Serial monitor is actually to see the output of the program. So just like your you can see the C++ program into the console or into the monitor, in the same way the output, for the output we can use that particular serial port. This 9600 is telling you the baud rate of that particular monitor. Baud rate means that how much rate the frequency is required, so that the board will give you the data and you can see in your serial monitor. So that we can set it 9600, we can fix it to different baud rate. Now let's go to the pin mode. Pin mode is very much useful when we want to make the pin to act as an input or act as an output. As I told you, all those pins that is there here, all those pins are acting as an input as well as output. When it is acting as an input, it is acting as an input when it required the sensor data. So sensor is generating the data. So the generated data will be taken from the sensor into the board. So we require input. Getting it? And if I want this actuators and all, if you want to give the signal to the actuator, whether it has to move or it has to move into the reverse direction, means clockwise, anti-clockwise, go forth or go backward. So for that, I need some sort of signal, right? So that signal we have to give, so we'll make it as an output pin. So we have input pin and we have output pin. Input pin is for taking the data, output pin is for the output the signal. So let's come to the program again. So we made one pin as constant LED. We give the output to the LED. We have one LED. Okay, right now I'll just remove it. I don't require this. Right. Okay, we can do it. Yes. So I don't require the LED right now. I'll use the simple program here. Now I'll change the pin mode, trigger pin. Which is a trigger pin? Pin number 9 is the trigger pin, right? So I want this 9 number pin as the output. I want output on this particular pin. So what trigger pin will do is, trigger will trigger this particular ultrasonic sensor, and this transmitter will get the voltage to transmit the ultrasonic waves. Getting it? This is a receiver pin. So from that, the reflection of from any object to this particular receiver will be received. So it will become an input. So echo is become the input, means you are getting the echo signal. So you have been capturing here, and this particular is for the triggering. You will trigger the ultrasonic waves. So here you are trigger, here you are receiving it. Here you are triggering, here you are receiving it. So you are triggering in, you need some sort of voltage. So that's why there is an output. You give, so trigger pin will be given the output and the echo pin will be taken as an input pin. So from input pin will capture some voltage here or capture some sort of pulse here, right? Now that setup will do once. So once the setup will be done, let's go to the loop. Now inside the loop, we have taken two long variable. Long is for the floating point values. You all know that. Then we have some inbuilt function, which is a digital write. Okay, digital write. So we'll write something. So what we'll write the voltage into the trigger pin and we're making it as a high. So what we are doing is we want to give the voltage to the trigger pin. So we'll give the voltage to the trigger pin. That is the work that will be done by this particular code. So we'll do the digital write on it. So it will be given the voltage. Which one will be given the voltage? Trigger pin. And which is the trigger pin? Trigger pin is pin number 9. Now after that, there is a delay of how many microseconds. Here we have the delay of 1000 microsecond. 1000 microsecond means 1 millisecond, means the 1000 part of 1 second. Why it is required? We required this particular delay so that once this will be high and will give a delay for it, and then we'll capture it. Now digital pin, the trigger pin will make it low. So we give the 1000 microsecond the high. So it will be high for some period of time and then it will be low. So in that way it will send a wave. So once you will be on, send a wave, off, then on, send a wave. So in that way wave is going actually. The microwaves are going. In how many second of gap? It is of 1 millisecond of gap the waves are going. Then after that what we do is from the echo pin we are making it high and we are using a function called pulse in. This pulse in function will give me the pulse and it will give me the duration, that how much duration it has taken to get the pulse. Once we'll get the duration with this particular formula, we'll find out the distance into centimeter. So we'll convert the duration with this formula to distance. So as I told you, this particular ultrasonic sensor will work in a special phenomena in which the transmitter will transmit the wave from the object. The reflective signal will be received by the receiver. That is a echo pin which has been receiving, and that is a trigger pin which is transmitting for the transmitting. The echo pin, so the distance travel, the time travel of that particular wave to reach the object and coming back to the receiver, the time, based on the time, what we do is we'll calculate the distance. Getting it? So that's why this particular formula is there, which is going to work for it. This will tell you the distance. After that, after getting the distance, what we do is we just print it, just like your scene, cout, printf. What we do is we just print the distance, whatever distance we are getting. And where we print into the serial monitor. So as I told you, this particular serial monitor, I'll show you the serial monitor. In this serial monitor, we can see the output. What output? What is the distance my object is? What is the distance between the object and this ultrasonic sensor? And then I'll print cm because it is of centimeter. So that the distance and the cm will be going to print. And after that, there is a delay of 500 uh, millisecond. So it will be your 0.5 second. So 0.5 second delay will be there, and every 0.5 second it will generate the distance and it will give you the distance value. Getting it? This is how this program works. So first thing what we do is we choose the board. We choose the board. Board is correct. After choosing the board, we'll just verify it. We can verify with this button, or you can go to the sketch and you can do the verify. So you just verify it and compile it and just see that everything is correct or not. So this is for the compile. The compile is written, the compile done. It says that compilation is done. So once the compilation is done, it means that my program is working correctly. There is no syntax error. There is nothing, no problem at all. Now let's do the pin. Let's do the connections with according to this particular program. As you can see, the trigger pin is 9, the echo pin is 10, right? Right. So that two pin we have to remember. The trigger pin is 9 and the echo pin is 10. Okay. Now, what is a echo pin? If you can see this diagram, just beside the voltage pin we have trigger pin, and just beside the ground pin we have echo pin. Okay. Now let's do let's see that how the connection will be done. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, we have the breadboard available with us. Okay. We have some jumpers. So these are all different jumpers. This is called jumpers, jumper pin. Now, this is my board, right? This is my board. This is my Arduino Uno board, as you can see here. This particular Arduino Uno board has different pin, right? So if you can identify, we have pin number 9 and 10. So here you can find out pin number 9 and 10, right? So this pin number 9 and 10, 9 will go to the trigger and 10 will go to the echo. Now we have this ultrasonic sensor. Now what we do is we'll put the sensor into the board. Okay, this is my board. So I am putting the sensor into the board. So I am putting like this. As you can see, the first one from here is the ground, and after that echo, after that trigger, and after that VCC. So I'll put it somewhere like this. Now I'll keep on putting the pins. So this is my, let's say, first pin. And second pin. After that, let's say this is my fourth pin, and this is my, let's say, fifth pin. Sorry, fourth pin. So three, four pin I have applied to all those four pins. Got it? Now, the first pin, which is a ground pin, this ground pin will go to the ground. So where is the ground here? If you can see here, you have ground here. These are the ground. So any of these two ground we can apply. So I'll put the pin into the ground pin. So I'm putting into the ground pin. So this is ground is in the ground. And the last one is my voltage pin. So I'll put into the 5 voltage power supply. Just beside to that, we have 5 voltage power supply. So the voltage and the ground has been done. After that, I have the eco pin. So if you can see the program, eco pin is 10. So where is 10? 10 is here. So I'll put the 10 into the 10. So yeah, so the eco is in the 10. And then I have this trigger pin. So trigger pin will go to the 9. So just beside to that, I have a pin called 9. Done. So this is the connection that I have done, right? This is my ultrasonic sensor. Here, if I'll put the object, it will tell me the distance. Yes. So the setup has been done of my hardware. And now let's see to put the program into this particular microcontroller. Okay. So what we do is, now we have this program. In this particular program, we'll just compile it. Now we have to. So what I'll do is I'll take this particular USB port, which is connected with my Arduino board, and I'll put it into the USB of my phone. Sorry, my laptop, and then I'll go to the tools. In the tools, we have the port, right? So we have to select the port. Here one is the Bluetooth and then the USB. So we have to select the USB and then we have to upload it. So I am uploading it. Now, once you will upload it, so this will be uploading. It will take some time to upload the thing. And then you can see uploading done. So once the uploading done, here you can see the serial monitor. This is the serial monitor. It is saying you some sort of centimeter. See, it is showing you the centimeter. So how it is coming? So it is coming based on the distance of the object. So what object I have? This is the object, right? So okay, let me show you the serial monitor also. Yes, so here you can see the serial monitor as well as this. So yes, so see the obstacle if you are putting, let's say, the mobile phone, and you can see now it is 17, 18. It is showing you, right? Now I am increase when I am putting this particular phone near to this. I'm near to this. See, the centimeter is less. As you can see here, the centimeter is less, right? What I'm doing here is, let's say I'm increasing the obstacle. So you can see the centimeter is also changing. And let me tell you, the precision is very, very good for this particular sensor. If you want, you can check the distance with the normal scale also. It will give you the exact, uh, almost exact distance. It's very accurate. So you can see this we can apply, and we can use it. Okay. Now let's see some sort of triggering here. Triggering means, let's say I need some distance, and that particular distance is defined by me. And if I am less to that particular distance, it will trigger one alarm, something. Okay. So for that, I'll use one LED. One LED I'll use. So let's say if the distance is less than 10 centimeter or 10 or less than 10, so my LED will glow. And if the distance is more than 10 centimeter, my LED is not going to glow. So that you can apply in your robot, right? If the distance is less than 10 centimeter, I have to use some sort of algorithm which will tell me that we have to move left or we have to move right, because just in front of me there is some obstacle. In just 10 centimeter I have some obstacle, or 15 centimeter I have some obstacle. So that we can do very easily with the help of this particular sensor. And why I have shown you this special sensor is because this special sensor work on 5 voltage power supply. So always, if you use ultrasonic sensor, you have to use Arduino Uno board to give 5 voltage power supply, or you can give 5 voltage power supply by tuning it to different voltage